Welcome back to Branding the Embassy Function, the podcast. I'm Oladele, and today we take the next step in this journey. In episode 1, we asked, is the embassy only about the visa counter? We challenged that picture. We looked beyond the glass windows and the queues, and we saw that embassies hold the power to tell a nation's story. So today, we go deeper. If not just about visas, then what? If the embassy is more than administration, then what does it become? It becomes a gateway to a nation. Now let me share a story. Years ago, I attended a cultural evening at an embassy in Lagos. It wasn't about visas or consular services. It was an open door event, a film screening, a small exhibition, a taste of food and music. And in those few hours, I felt transported. I hadn't traveled anywhere physically, but I had experienced another country's rhythm, their flavor and spirit. And that's what a gateway does. It lets you step across without fully leaving where you are. Now, think about this. How many people will never leave Paris but may attend a French embassy event or they may never visit Paris but may attend a French embassy event in Abuja? How many people will never set foot in Seoul but may experience Korean culture through their embassy's outreach? And this is what makes embassies powerful. They are not just doors to visas. They are doors to identity. But let's pause for a bit. What do we really mean by gateway? A gateway is not just an entry point. It is an introduction. It is a threshold, a first impression. And so the way you enter often shapes how you perceive the journey that follows. So if an embassy is your gateway, then it should tell you what lies ahead. The value of the nation, the warmth of its people, the promise of its culture. But if your gateway is only a metal detector, a queue, and a rushed interaction, then the story is lost. The embassy must become the threshold that whispers, "Welcome. Come and see who we are." Now, let's break this down into practical ways embassies act as gateways. First, let's look at what I called cultural diplomacy. When an embassy organizes concerts, exhibitions, or film screening, it gives the host nation a taste of home. So, think of the British Council hosting theatre productions, or Germany's Goethe Institute showcasing contemporary art. These are gateways that spark curiosity. The second, is language and learning. Language is one of the strongest gateways to identity. So embassies that promote the language through classes, libraries, or exchanges, they open a powerful door. Spanish through Instituto Cavates or something The French through Alliance Francaise, Chinese through Confucius Institutes. These are the little examples that we can look at. Now, the third is partnerships and innovations. Embassies often serve as bridges for business and technology. So when they host trade fairs, innovation summits, or educational scholarships, they invite others to step into their ecosystem. That too is a gateway. And the next gateway we'll be looking at is hospitality and environment. Sometimes, the simplest things matter. The way staff welcome visitors, the openness of spaces, even the art on the wall, every detail communicates. An embassy lobby filled with photographs of national landscapes is already a gateway. Together, these elements form a network of doors, and each one is inviting, each one is shaping perception. Now, when we look at stories of nations who got it right, let's look at a few examples. South Korea. Their embassies abroad, they often host K-pop showcases and food festivals. This isn't entertainment alone, it's branding. It creates curiosity about Korea as a modern, creative, and dynamic nation. Germany, through the Institute. Germany projects not just its language, but its philosophy of thought, order, and creativity. Attend one Goethe Institute event and you feel the pulse of German culture, German identity. Nigeria. Imagine if our embassies became living galleries of Nollywood, Afrobeats, Adire, and jollof rice. Imagine the waiting area doubling as a showcase of culture. That single step could transform how Nigerians are seen worldwide. So when embassies embrace their role as gateways, they stop being inundating walls and they become open doors. So, here's the takeaway. Every embassy is a threshold. And every threshold tells a story. But the question is, what story does yours tell? If the embassy is cold, then the nation appears cold. If the embassy is warm, vibrant, and welcoming, then the nation is seen as warm, vibrant, and welcoming. The embassy is not just a place for paperwork. It is a gateway to identity, to trust, and to relationships. So as you think about embassies from now on, ask yourself, when you walk through those gates, are you merely seeking a visa? Or are you being invited into the story of a nation? Think about it. Well, thank you for joining me on this second episode of Branding the Embassy Function, the podcast. In our next conversation, we will ask a bold question. What happens when embassy staff themselves become brand ambassadors? Because branding isn't just about the building or the programs. It's about people. Subscribe wherever you listen and share this podcast with someone curious about diplomacy and culture. This is Oladele reminding you that every nation has a story worth telling. Let's tell the story.